All right, it is 5:30, April 15th, Board of Works meeting. If you will please join me for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Clerk Treasurer Price, will you please do roll? Here.
Present.
Present.
Very good. The minutes of the April 1st Board of Works meeting have been presented for review. Any corrections, additions, subtractions?
I don't have anything.
Motion approved.
I have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes from April 1st. All in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business is the claims for April 15th, totaling $398,577.91. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second discussion.
Everything looks good to me.
Yep, we didn't have any larger items on this one. It was all pretty standard business operations, so. Here none. I have a motion and a second to approve the claims in the amount of $398,577.91. All in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Opposed? I'm an aye. Motion carries. All right. First business item is gonna be, are you Jennifer?
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer Willock from 217th North Ohio Street to speak on behalf of placing a 10-yard dumpster, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to give us a quick overview of what your plan is. I kind of gave them a general idea with the agenda, but you want to explain just a little bit?
I just need a dumpster. Weekend, I'm trying to clear out like my garage, I have a lot of big items that I can't set out, like some mattresses and things like that. But there's no way for them to get down the alley into my driveway. So I need to set it on the city side. It'll be off the street, but still on the city side, so.
Okay.
Set this picture.
Yes, and you guys got, yep, and from 4/18 will be the drop-off date and approximate pickup 4/22.
Yeah.
Okay,
Won't be on the sidewalk.
No, there's like a sidewalk and then there's like a gravel space before the road. And so it'll be in that little gravel area, so people can get through traffic.
okay. Any further questions?
Nope, don't have a problem with it.
All right, here none. Is there a motion to approve the placement of the 10-yard dumpster at 217th North Ohio Street for 4/18 through 4/22?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
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 I'm an aye. Motion carries. Very good. Thank
Yep.
you. All right, next is going to be JT Doan for Do It in Delphi.
Yes, good evening, Board of Works. It is that time, so our Delphi Main Street is getting ready to kick off the market season. There's been some changes made from the past couple of years. It's now gonna be called the Do It Delphi Market. So certainly we welcome, of course, the farmers, vendors. We also welcome the artisan vendors. You can go to delphimainstreet.com. There'll be an area on there where you can look and see about the market, get information and get registered. The Do It in Delphi Market will be May through October. It's gonna be just on the third Saturdays and it'll run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so our request tonight, again, on behalf of Delphi Main Street, is to have courthouse side only of Washington Street and Franklin for the market. And then we also plan on asking commissioners' permission to have the kids zone up on the courthouse lawn in the gazebo again for this season.
So.
I do have, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
You
Brent.
said every third Saturday
Yes.
of the month?
Yep.
That's a
Yes.
change from last year,
That
right?
is a change,
Okay.
yes.
You did it twice last year, didn't you? Twice a
Did,
month?
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, last year, didn't you have Franklin
So last
or
year.
Franklin and Market?
Last year it was set up so we did first and third Saturdays, and then we had a half block. We had courthouse side market in Franklin and half block on Market there by the old bank building.
Right.
So this year, again, in adjusting the date, we're just looking at that third Saturday and from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. But now we're looking to do on the just Franklin and Washington courthouse side.
So your first one would be May 18th? That's
Yes.
their Saturday.
Then
Yes,
that's
we
gonna
go-
be, yeah, and that's gonna be probably,
Without going into too much of it.
yes.
That's gonna be that's the first week of the trial here, and there's gonna be, we're gonna need the parking.
Yeah, so
But it's on
Market's
the
not gonna
Saturday.
be,
No, I have it on Saturday. It's,
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
slotted to go through.
yeah, so Market Street will not be available for,
Pretty sure Franklin.
yeah, you know, at this time, so I don't know.
So then I guess some options would be, so if,
Which you're not gonna use anyway, right? But
correct,
shifting everything over to Washington,
Washington and Franklin courthouse side.
do you have any idea how many vendors you have set up?
And I do not right now, but if, given that information, if it would be best for us to consider maybe moving to June, kicking it off in June, then certainly, you know, I can mention that to our group that will kick off in June to accommodate for that, if that seems to be an issue with around the.
I just think it's gonna be a problem with parking on that first week and maybe the second week, depending on how long it goes out.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to do it on a Sunday?
I want to go back to have this discussion with the.
I don't know that you'd have a very good crowd on Sunday with church and
Yeah, that's.
everything else, you know, so. Yeah,
That could be something I could definitely go back and discuss.
and the third Saturday of June, you know, our hope is that this is done. So that's, yeah, May is just a tricky month with that particular area, so. Is that something you'd be all right with just taking to the Delphi Main Street and just 1 month? You know, because the third Saturday gives you plenty of time to,
I mean, as far as just going to June.
yeah.
Yes, certainly. I mean, I think,
Yeah, because
so with that, I mean, if we could go ahead and have, if Board of Works chooses, for courthouse side, Franklin and Washington, then I'll just let the board know that we're gonna not start in May, that we're gonna move it to June.
I would think that'd be the better option, just the amount of people that are gonna be here.
have you talked to any of the business owners on Washington as far as, since we're gonna be changing that, the business owners are, you know, obviously that's their parking for their Saturdays as well, right? So last year we had it over on Market. This is
They
gonna be
have
a change. So have they been,
Well, no, because again, we're not necessarily closing. A lot of times when we've had those conversations in the past, because like there was one time we closed Franklin. Or obviously having that half block of Market closed, and then obviously Old Settlers is a whole nother discussion to have.
Right.
So no, to my knowledge, we've not, you know, had that conversation, just say, we certainly could go out now and give that reminder that we're gonna have the market, but it doesn't, we're not closing streets, we're not closing, you know, half blocks, we're just gonna be on the courthouse side, just so they are aware, you know, of that.
set up in the road, correct?
Yes.
To where to be taking parking spots.
Correct.
Yes, that's where I'm going with it. Yeah, so, okay.
I don't have an issue with it as long as the businesses are still okay with it like last year. I mean, we didn't have any issues last year. As long as the communication's still open up with it, I think it's fine.
Yes.
Just you have to move it to June, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's
and then also
my
too,
opinion.
there are businesses too, that are excited because potentially it draws some other foot traffic up to the square to come out on a nice day to shop, and then ideally then we want them to go on over.
Yep.
Shop in the retail and get some restaurants.
and it's one Saturday, so I think that's
I think a little bit more convenient.
Yeah,
than
instead
having
of-
to-
two for the month. I think it was. We kind of seen the crowd dwindling off a little bit, so I think that's a good idea as well, but. Okay, so any further questions for JT?
No.
None? So,
Make a motion that we accept the use of the half block the courthouse side of Washington and Franklin for the Do It in Delphi. Formerly the farmer's market for the third Saturday of the month, starting in June. Not May.
Yes, sir.
I will second.
all right, I have a motion and a second for. Closing down courthouse side of Washington and Franklin for the third Saturday for Do It in Delphi. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Our Delphi Main Street, thanks you. And again, if anyone that wants to get information at delphimainstreet.com, there's gonna be some updates to the website. So go out there, you can get a look to see information on the market and get registered. Be a vendor. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
JT. All right. Future business announcements, I put it out social media Friday that the city of Delphi was awarded Community Crossings Grant for 2024-1 that was submitted in January. $999,750 was matching funds with the city of Delphi is a 75-25 match, so the city would only pay 25% of that. Be roughly $333,250. So good news for us. Excited for that to continue improving our roads. May 4th, 2024, Delphi will have its city spring cleanup. So that is on social media for everybody to know what items can and cannot be put out. So we will be watching a little closer this year to things that are left out after that Saturday. They have to be picked up the day of. So if it's not picked up by the trash company, it cannot remain on the sidewalks, curbs, or wherever they leave it. It needs to be picked up immediately. So that's a big day for us. It gives people a chance to clean out their garages, clean out their houses, and it's a service that we provide. So hopefully people take advantage of it. And we actually get a lot of visitors that weekend too, for people that want to go through and kind of
Collect some stuff.
collect some stuff. Yeah. So
Collect some stuff.
it's a busy weekend for that. There's going to be another proclamation with Mayor Sims and I in May for Mental Health Awareness Month, which I will be reading. I'll read it that day with Mayor Sims, and then that evening at the council meeting, I'll also read it here for the public portion of it. So we did two last month. So I think I had 2 and Mayor Sims had at least 10. So other than that, we are keeping busy and chugging right along. So Clerk Treasurer Price, do you have any comments or requests?
I just want to let everybody know that we will be open in our office all day this week on Wednesday until 4:30 instead of closing at noon. And then we'll be closing at noon on Friday this week, just for maintenance, and then we'll return to regular hours next week, just like we normally do. That being said, also with water bills this month, I know it was a little bit crazy. We had some issues with water bills not getting delivered, even though we took them to the post office like we always do. I know we're not the only county that had some issues. It was something that was not anything that we could control. Hopefully, our residents can understand that, but we were working through it. So, and we're also still dealing with payment issues. So hopefully Invoice Cloud will work with us, and we're trying to work that out and hash that out with some payment issues with them and try to upgrade that. So it makes it a little bit easier for our residents.
So that's we got to ask a lot of questions with the water bill, and we drop it off at the post office and rely on it to be delivered. So that's completely out of our hands. And Monticello had the same issue, and a couple other cities close to us. So thank you, Julie, for she reached out immediately after this happened to our service provider for the online services, and she's working through getting some things changed to make it user friendly for the city. So thank you for that. Any other board comments before I go to public comments? No.
I have none.
Public comments? Hearing none, there's one last motion.
Motion to-
You
you-
have it.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Meeting is adjourned at 5:44. Thank you, guys.